Good morning, everyone, and welcome to County Executive Pittman's virtual press conference. This morning, the County Executive will provide information on the launch of the county's Land Use Navigator tool, as well as a few other updates. We'll take questions after those updates. As a reminder, please put your name and media affiliation in the chat, and I'll call on folks for questions in that order. And please keep your microphone and camera off unless you're called on to ask a question. With that, Mr. County Executive.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning. We'll be fairly brief, but I'm going to talk about two very important land use initiatives in the county, as well as about some youth engagement opportunities. But before I do that, I should note that today is the first day that masks have not been required in county buildings. Of course, we encourage people to wear them if it makes them feel more comfortable, and certainly if they are not vaccinated. But the good news is that we are down to a case rate of just over 10, and hospitalizations are down to 27. We were at 45 last week, and positivity at 4%. So the numbers are continuing to move in the right direction, and we feel confident that relaxing these requirements is the right thing to do at this time. So let me first talk about a bill before the council tonight. There's going to be a hearing on our Green Infrastructure Master Plan, and you may have heard about some of this. This is our effort to protect and preserve 30% of the land mass of Anne Arundel County by the year 2030. And it is a very important component of the overall picture of what we call smart growth and what we have put in our 20-year general development plan for the county, Plan 2040. So it's very important, we believe, to protect open space and have contiguous greenways, more trees, not only in those greenways, but also in communities that have not enough trees. And it's really about the quality of life, our environment, our wildlife, and recreation and resilience to climate change. So I hope that people will be there tonight with their thoughts on that and testify. The other part of land use is really the day-to-day work of getting permits to do, whether it's construction or whether it's putting a porch on somebody's house. Our Office of Inspections and Permits is probably the department of county government that historically has been the most complained about. And I have been one of those in the past as well. Everybody thinks that their permits should come quicker and that the process is too cumbersome and the regulations are burdensome, particularly when they're trying to get something done. And I am sympathetic to that concern. And it has been difficult over the last couple of years, particularly with COVID, not being able to get into the office, with retirements, with a workforce of inspectors that has been aging, and with positions that we've created and we've funded, but that with the shortage of engineers in particular and inspectors, it's been hard to hire to fill these positions. So things have been moving slower than I would like them to move. And so what we're announcing today is that starting Monday, the Office of Inspections and Permits will be taking all of their applications, reviewing and getting information out, all electronically. This is a thing that we're calling the Land Use Navigator. And it's a comprehensive system that first goes to inspections and permits, then it will go to plan and zoning and other departments. And it'll be much easier for us to monitor what's going on in our county. It will make the process faster. It will make it fairer. It will make it more transparent and certainly more efficient. It will be launching on Monday. And I have with us Mark Wiedemeyer here to talk about how that transition is going to work and what this Land Use Navigator is going to mean for the county. So, Mark.
Good morning. Thank you, County Executive. I just want to thank our administration, our department staff who has worked tirelessly on this project to be able to get it to the point that we're able to launch next week, and also thank our agency partners that are involved in the permit review process. It's been a long road, but we're very excited to be able to launch next Monday, the 28th. In the meantime, our permit center will be closed tomorrow, February 23rd through February 25th, to allow for the cutover from our old system to the new system. So we will not be open to the public to take in any permit applications or licensing applications during that time. We will, however, be performing inspections that have been previously scheduled. So those will continue throughout the course of this week. We also have Jay Lashinsky on the call, who can present a quick overview of the system and what it will look like for applicants moving forward.
Thank you, Mark. Morning, everyone. As Mark said, what you will find when you go to the county website is a link to the Land Use Navigator. Once you click on that link, that will bring you to the Navigator itself. And if you click on the home button, please. So when you first arrive, it will ask you for an email address and password if you have one. If not, you'll be able to register for an account. You will need an account in order to apply for a license or a permit. If you're just a member of the general public and just want to peruse the system to see if your neighbor has a permit, or if you're just interested in looking for permit itself, you can click on the permit part. And then if you scroll down, if you want to search for the permit number, which is the record number, you can do that. If you want to search by record type, so if you want to know electrical permit or a new single family dwelling, you can click on that. If you want to search by dates, you wanted to know all the permits issued or applied for during the month of February, you could search by that, or you could do the same thing with licensing, or you can search by street number or street name. So if you wanted to know all the permits that have been applied for by the people on your own street, you could type that information in and then search. If you are ready to apply for a permit, once you could go back to your home page. You want to apply for a permit or a license. And once you have your email or username and password, you would then enter that, and there will be step-by-step instructions available on the website on how to register, as well as how to apply for the permit. One of the benefits, a major benefit of doing it this way, is applicants no longer need to come into the office, and people can pay online. You can either pay by credit card or e-check. E-check is generally a little cheaper, so hopefully people will take advantage of that. Back to you, Mr. County Executive.
All right, thank you. So you can see how this is going to increase transparency for the public and enhance community engagement. But for the contractors that do this work, my hope is that they'll be able to spend more time getting the jobs done and less time doing paperwork and dealing with having to come down to the county for their permits. So thank you all for doing this. This has been a long time coming. We had to switch contractors along the way because the work wasn't getting done to our satisfaction. And the day has finally arrived, or it will on Monday. So kudos to everybody. Finally, I just want to mention 3 youth engagement opportunities that I feel very good about. Their deadlines coming for young people to apply. And we created in August of 2020 the Youth Advisory Council, which advises me on issues that young people in this county care about. I meet with them on a regular basis. They meet amongst themselves, and it's been a really dynamic group of young people. And it's actually a very competitive application process to find the group that we want each year. The deadline is the 6th of April, and go to aacounty.org/youth to apply for that. We also have an internship that each year during the school year, 10 to 15 hours a week. We've got a couple of young people that help us in our office here. and they work with the Youth Corps, the Youth Engagement Activity Hub that the young people have created, and really coordinate a lot of this work, as well as learn a lot about what county government is doing. So that's April 6th also, to apply for that at the same site, the county executive internships for next school year. And then finally, the summer, we really built out last year a much more robust thing that we call the Government Academy. And it's a paid internship, 6 weeks during the summer from July 5th to August 12th. And we do it with Anne Arundel Workforce Development Corporation. And it's fascinating to watch these young people go from department to department to department, learn about their careers in public service, ask a lot of questions, come up with a lot of good ideas. So I highly recommend that program for anybody who's interested in public service in their futures. Application deadline, March 31st for the Government Academy. So all three of those, go to aacounty.org/youth. I like to think, as we're thinking about land use in this county moving forward, that we listen to young people. We have actually, through these programs, put young people onto many of our boards and commissions. Our Joint Commission on the Opportunity Gap now has a seat for a young person, as does our Human Relations Commission. And we've got young people also participating in our region plans for land use in Anne Arundel County. So I will stop with that and turn it over to Jeff to get questions.
All right, thank you again. Name and media affiliation in the chat if you have questions. I'll call on folks in that order. First up, Brooks DuBose, the Capitol.
Hi, thanks. I don't see Chief Awad on here, so I will just direct this question to the county executive. I wanted to give you a chance to comment on last night's shooting in Robinwood, where 2 children were struck by what appears to be indiscriminate gunfire. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, after the 2 children that were shot in the incident just a couple weeks ago in Annapolis, this really does upset me and upset a lot of people. When kids can't go outside and play and be safe, our whole society is really got to wake up and do something about it. The Annapolis police chief spoke about this, and they're on it. They're looking for leads. So please, if anybody knows anything in Annapolis, heard anything, any information that may be useful for the Annapolis Police Department in their investigation. So please speak up.
Next up, Dana Monroe, the Capitol.
Hi, regarding the Land Use Navigator, why, I know this has been a problem for a while. What was sort of the impetus doing this now as opposed to years ago?
You're right that Anne Arundel County has been slow getting this done. And I think that's true in a lot of areas of government. We've been a little behind the 8 ball on some mostly technology aspects of governing. And when I came in, I said that this was a priority. We want to make government more efficient. We want to use technology. We want to be able to measure performance, and these kinds of systems make it a lot easier to do that. The program had gotten started during the previous administration. It stalled when the contractor was not able to deliver, and it was a priority for us to get a new contractor in and get it moving. So we're really celebrating that the day has finally come to do it in inspections and permits. It will be coming to plan and zoning as well. I believe in less than a year. Mark may be able to correct me on the timing on that.
Yes, you're right. That is in design right now with Office of Information and Technology and the Office of Planning and Zoning.
All right, next up, Kate Amara, WBAL.
Hi, thanks. I have a question for the county exec and for Bob Mosier. Mr. County Executive, I'm gonna ask you about the shooting last night as well. I know it's Annapolis Police that are investigating and that responded to it, but I'm wondering if it's your understanding that Anne Arundel County Police are assisting in any way, or if detectives from the county are part of the canvassing and the investigation into what happened. And Bob, we don't know the ages of the children, but I know that this happened in between right near an elementary school and quite close to a middle school. So I'm wondering if the schools department is doing anything at those schools today for kids who may need to talk to somebody this morning. Thanks.
So we are always working with the Annapolis Police Department, particularly if there's any evidence that the person may have been outside of the city, but I don't know if we have anybody from the police department. I mean, I know we don't give details of investigations as they're going, but if there's anything to add, anybody from the police department, speak up. But my understanding is that there's never a case in Annapolis where there's an investigation of a shooting where our department is not also involved.
And Kate, to answer your question, yes, there are additional resources at schools around where the incident took place this morning. We're very fortunate our student support services staff were able to disseminate people out to instances like this to be able to provide support for students and families.
All right, last call for questions. If you have a question, please put your name and media affiliation in the chat. All right, we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks.